Analyze Poetry Alone by Maya Angelou. Hello, my name is Alya Rizqi Fatikha, NIM 89, Class F. There are three elements of poetry. The first, form or structure, the second, sound devices, and the third, figurative language. The first, form or structure. Form or structure is the appearance of the poem which is contained line and become a stanza. In this poem there is 6 stanza and there are 3 stanza which is a repetition in this poem. The function of the stanza is to make the reader know the idea of the poem. It is just like a paragraph in the story which has an idea in a single paragraph. Lying thinking, last night, how to find my soul a home, where water is not thirsty, and bread loaf is not stone. I came up with one thing, and I don't believe I'm wrong, that nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. That the first stanza. I may say that the speaker is in a gloomy, thoughtful atmosphere. The night before she had laid down and contemplated her life, questioning how to find his soul a home. The speaker seems lonely and depressed about this fact, implying that her soul is not at peace and that she feels cut off from the world. She needed to encourage her spirit, that is, because she was feeling thirst and hungry for bone. During her contemplation, she was enlightened. No one in this world can do it alone. The speaker is very confident in this idea. To emphasize his point, she repeated that absolutely nothing could or survive out here alone. In order to stay alive in this world, both emotionally and psychically, people must come together to support and build friends. Alone, all alone, nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. That the second stanza. I might say that this is a kind of refrain, a near repeat of the last 3 lines of the previous stanza. Why repeat? Well, this places much more emphasis on the idea that nobody is an island, that nobody will survive by being alone. There are some millionaires with money they can't use. Their wives run around like benches. Their children sing the blues. They've got expensive doctor to cure their hearts of stone. But nobody, no nobody, can make it out here alone. That the third stanza told that money will not give any kind of peace. Money cannot soften your heart. No matter how much money do you have, tears is always follow you. The sentence, their children sing the blues. Blues here means a sadness. Now, if you listen closely, I'll tell you what I know. Storm clouds are gathering. The wind is gonna blow. The race of man is suffering. And I can hear the moan. 'Cause nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. This fifth stanza is about misery. It shows from the third and fourth line of this stanza. Storm clouds are gathering. The wind is gonna blow. It represents a suffering feeling of human and it proved by fifth line. The race of man is suffering. The second, sound devices. Rhyme. This poem is free verse of poem, so has no rhyme. Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning of the word. The alliteration in this poem are where water is not thirsty, for W and W, alone, all alone, for the A, nobody but nobody, for the N. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound without non-rhyming words. In this poem, the assonance is lying, thinking, and I don't believe I'm wrong, alone, all alone. Repetition. It has repetition in the second stanza. Alone, all alone, nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. And repeat in fourth and sixth stanza, and also repeated in the end of each stanza. It is used to emphasize that no one will live alone and no one will survive in this world alone. As a social being, human needs someone who face this world together. The third, figurative languages. Simile. Simile is the comparison which is used like or as. The aim of simile is to have an interesting connection to reader's mind. The simile in this poem is on the third stanza. Their wife has run around like benches. The word benches here is an Irish folklore. It is such a spirit woman who shows the death of his family by wailing and shrieking. This means that the wives are crying, howling, even though they have a lot of money. Their world means nothing without any spiritual belief. Metaphor. This is compared to things which are not alike. This is not used like or as. It begins to make sense if the reader grabs the connection of two things which are being compared. The purpose of using metaphor in this poem is that the writer wants to make the reader grasp what the writer wants to convey. The metaphor in this poem is on the third stanza, to cure their hearts of stone. It does not that the heart is actually stone. It means that the person, someone who is unkind, someone who has no empathy to others, or stubborn. The metaphor in this poem is also on the and breathed love is not stone. As I already searched what does it means, I found out that love is a Bible allusion and breathed love means a bad thing. In this poem, breathed love means the lack of spiritual of the writer. Personification. It is described a non-living to human characteristic. It is used to expand the imagination of the reader and enhance the interest of a reader to the people. In this poem, personification used to make this poem varied and attractive to read. The personification in this poem is on the third stanza, where water is not thirsty. In real life, water cannot be thirsty, while the human can be thirsty. Thirsty here means that probably only human can be thirsty of anything, not only about drink. In this poem, the writer is thirsty for spiritual peace. Allusion. When the author refers to the famous person, literary work, or historical story, the aim of using allusion is to make the poem has a deep meaning by referring it to other pieces of works. The allusion in this poem is on the and breathe love is not stone. Breathe love is a Bible allusion, and breathe means a bad thing. In this poem, breathe love means the lack of spiritual of the writer.